This one, I think, is one of the most expensive discs in my collection. It is... Hello, my name is Disc Golf Scott, and welcome to my disc collection. As you may know from watching my previous video, I've been playing disc golf since around 2021, but been collecting more discs and playing a lot more professionally, or really trying to get better for the past season or a whole year. It's still a bit snowy outside, hoping to be able to get outside and play some real disc golf and film some real content for you guys. But I thought meanwhile I would go through my collection, and so you would get like a sneak peek of what I throw and maybe what my bag will look like for the 2025 season. I'll of course be making a separate video about that, but here you have a bit of like some discs I might throw, some discs I'm gonna try out, and maybe they'll get a place in my bag. First I'll start by mentioning what is actually my bag. It is this Latitude 64 E4 Deluxe luxury bag, I think it's called. Really happy with this one. It fits a lot of discs in both the main compartment, in the side pockets, and in the top here. If I'm going out to practice or if I'm playing a tournament, it has a lot of space in the top, and this is just a really great bag, and I'm really happy with it, and the customer service from Latitude is just a top level. But let's get to the real stuff here. I have collected some quite special discs during my time, as you may have seen from the Disc Mania boxes and the Gyropalooza box. I got some cool discs there, and I also will not go through every single disc. I'll go through the discs that are the coolest. So with that, I first want to show you the first disc I ever got. And it's quite funny because if you think about it now, it's not a really good beginner disc. It's actually this Firebird. It's this blue Firebird. It's a 12-time Ken Climo, so it's pretty standard. But this is the first disc I ever got, the first disc I ever threw. It is this Firebird, so it's quite funny that you might think how it flew for me back in the day. Quite overstable, and I actually took it out to the field not so long ago, and it's still really overstable. I'll put it down here so I don't lose it. And I just recently bought this Passion, this Discraft Passion, and I've been hearing a lot of good things about it, and I think it feels really good in the hand, and I think it's gonna fly just how I want for like that neutral 8-speed. So we'll get to throw this a bit during the season, and this colorway is just beautiful. You guys know I love my blues. Other than that, we have some like a Crave, stuff like that. And I have this beautiful Royal Rive. So now that Isaac Robinson has gone to Latitude 64, I think maybe I should give this one some more of a try. I also have this Järva Open. This is... I got in a mystery box. It's a quite cool stamp on it. Special stamp for this tournament that was in 2024. And it is a Hawkeye. I haven't actually thrown a Hawkeye, but it doesn't feel half bad. Very glidey feeling on this disc. Maybe we should actually move on to my favorite mid-range. I have two different of these mid-ranges. And these, I think, more certainly than not will go into my bag. It is the Latitude 64 Trust. It's a 5502 speed, 02 disc. I have one that's a bit domier than the other. This is a first run one, and these just fly dead straight with a bit of fade for me. So it's the perfect workhorse mid-range. It really is. So it's quite cool to have that first run Trust, which I really like. I'll move on to some more interesting discs. I have this European Open, European Tour, Euro Tour. I think this is from 2023, actually, if I'm not mistaken. This is metal, no, not a metal flake. It's a glow in the dark. It has a really terrible glow, but it is a glow in the dark Toro, which usually is a bit more stable than the other Toros. But this has beaten in to be quite straight, actually, for me, with this glow-in-the-dark disc. So it's a really cool disc. As you can see on the stamp there, it is a really, really cool disc. And I was bagging it for a long time, but it just turned a bit less stable for me. Some more cool discs. You guys have already seen me unboxing the Pixel, for example, the R2 Pixel, and the this Tempo, which are just really cool. But of course, you've already seen these. I'll move on to some more MVP. Here I have a Rebirth. What's his name again? Eagle McMahon Envy, and I really enjoy throwing the Envy. I'll actually grab the one I had in the bag for the longest. This is a Neutron Envy, just a regular softness. And this one is a perfect, like, dead straight with a little fade. And this one just is a bit too firm for me. I don't really like the firmness compared to the Neutron. So this plastic just didn't really sit right with me, so I haven't thrown it a lot. But I will definitely get one more in this plastic and one in the soft plastic, because I usually tend to like the softer plastics for putters. So these Envies are of course really great. I also have one in the putter plastic. It's just a regular Envy. And these three are like, this one is the most understable, this one is neutral, and this is a bit overstable. But I've really fallen in love with the Neutron plastic for the Envies. I also have one different disc that is kind of in the same slot as the Envy. It is the P3X, and this is probably my favorite throwing putter. I also have one with a Huck stamp. This is definitely my favorite throwing putters, and I have two quite cool ones. One from the mystery box from last year, and of course the Huck stamp. Both are glow in the dark, which is really cool. I have this MD4, which is the prototype. Yeah, prototype Metal Flake C-Line MD4 from the European Tour, or European Open, sorry, which is really cool. And this was planning to fill my overstable mid-range slot, but it actually didn't hold up as well as I thought it would in the headwind. So therefore this one got kicked out of my bag. But I've been trying out this balance, which you will see a short video on soon, and this flies really great for me. So I'm really looking forward to throwing that some more. I also have this really cool trail, this special edition trail. As you may have seen before, this is the talk of the town. I think the trail is just a dead straight with little right to left movement, and it's just a perfect 10-speed. Really liking this, and I hope this finds a place in my bag for the season, because in the woods this is just a dead straight disc and something that I think I'll have a lot of use for during the season. We can continue in the mid-range slot. I have a really cool dyed Buzz OS, which is also a great overstable mid-range for the mid-range slot. I also just found that the glide is a bit too high for this in the wind, and I would like something that cut more through the wind. Sort of like this disc right here from the Bistro box. This is the MD5, and this mold is just so great, and it's gonna beat in to become a perfect flyer, and I'm eventually gonna have to get MD5 that's in the S-line plastic, so it holds its neutral flight for a bit longer. I also have this FD3 in the Reinvent Your Game stamp that they did. I have two different ones. One in this C-line, one in this like neon yellow / green, and one in this red one. So I have two backups one backup of this. The yellow one is a bit domier actually, but not by much, and they both fly really great on the forehand. I also have this really cool Thunderbird. This is the Jeremy Colling stamped Thunderbird. I have two other Thunderbirds as well, one in the Champion plastic and one in the Star plastic. These are really cool, and I absolutely love throwing the T-Bird. The mold is really great, and it fits really nicely in my hand. And now that Jeremy Colling has moved to MVP, this won't really be accessible anymore, the Tour Series Jeremy Colling. So this is just a really great disc, and especially the Star Plastic one, which has beaten in a bit, and it's just a dead flyer, and then with a little bit of fade at the end. I can also mention this KC Rock, which is just a disc that I absolutely love, and the feel is just great for just like hammering it flat and having a slow drift all the way over. But I'll be speaking more about this when I choose my bag for the season. This is, after all, showing you the discs I have in my collection. I have some discs in plastic that I'll be showing now, which I plan on keeping or selling or maybe throwing, like this Moonshine Felon. I have actually thrown this one time, but it just didn't really fly how I wanted it to fly for the overstable fairway slot. So therefore I decided to just chuck it in a plastic bag and save it for a rainy day. I can go through the rest of them now. Some of them you have seen in the Bistro box opening, but some you haven't, and some are just ones that I'm planning on maybe selling. I have this really cool Tour Series backstamped Luna, and I don't really throw the Luna because it's just not the right floaty putter for me. For the floaty putter, I have this Watt. This is in the Eclipse plastic. I also have one in this soft Neutron plastic, I think it is. So I have a backup for that one. These are both pretty straight. This one is a bit more understable because of the plastic, but they both fly really great. I have a bunch of zones as well, but that's not really that interesting. I have a few more discs in the fairway slot, which I think are really cool, and it's maybe worth showing them off. I can start off with this Huck Lab like red stamped Splice, which is really cool. The same color as the one I got in the mystery box, but just this one with the Huck Lab stamp. It's really cool. And here I have a this is a TI Stalker that I don't quite can recall the full name of the plastic. It's like on the tip of my tongue. Maybe I'll remember it later. But this is the, when is this? This is the 2011 World Champion Paige Pierce TI Stalker. So this one is really old, and I haven't really thrown it a lot, but it's a really cool disc, and 2011 champion disc. This is for Paige Pierce, so it's quite old. Moving on, we actually have this Athena, which is a six claw Macbeth Athena, which I think is really cool. And then I have this absolute beauty of the Hummingbird, the Simon Lisotte, not Lisotte, that's the Hex Tesla, which is just a money run for him. They are a bit overstable for me. I have this Tesla as well in the plasma plastic, which is a bit more understable, but they're still really overstable to be a 9.5 -1.2. Speaking of those flight numbers, I actually have one more cool fairway driver. It is down here actually. It is this Zeta Moon S-Blend, who is the Colton Montgomery S-Line CD1. And this also has 9.5 -1.2 flight numbers. And this is just straight to a continual turnover for the rest of the flight. So I have some specific holes which this is perfect for. Now we're moving on to the big boys, the distance drivers. And for the distance drivers, I have a lot of cool ones, especially when it comes to the destroyers. I have this G-Star, this is, if you can listen to this, through the plastic even. This is a G-Star Racer. Before it came out for official release, even got the tag on, and I just haven't really found the need to throw it because it's the G-Star and it's a quite understable driver. So I just thought that I'll keep it in a bag and not really pay any more attention to that. I have this is quite funny. This is a Jawbreaker plastic Zeus 171, and it's just, you know, the flight numbers on a Zeus 12.5 -13, so like destroyer numbers, but this is just a straight up roller in this plastic. It's really fun to throw because the plastic is feels so good on this disc in particular. We can move on to this disc, which I actually throw a lot. It's the DD in a kind of beautiful colorway, just this like silver colors. And this is just a so flat disc for being such an understable disc. It's really cool and it feels so great in the hand, and just a perfect, like not a flips up all the way, but just a gradual turn the whole flight. It's an 11 speed, and it's just a really fun disc to throw when I'm able to whip that disc out. This is another disc I think is really funny. It's a Blizzard destroyer, 150 gram destroyer, which is also just incredibly understable. It's just really fun to throw this at like knife angle hyzers and get it to stand up and then drift. It's just really cool, and this is such a funny disc to throw. And this I think has to be one of my most prized possessions. This is a team stamped gateway disc. I don't really know what disc this actually is. I've tried to search up it many times. It's marked DW, so I don't really know what that is supposed to be. But it's a really cool disc and one to have in the collection for sure. Some more team stamped discs or from tournaments and stuff like that. I, for example, have this First Run Grace, which is really cool. This is a bit more understable than the regular Graces that are out now. And this is a disc that is quite a bit thrown, not by me. I actually bought this one used, but I have a different Grace which I've actually thrown a bit. But they're just like a bit too understable for the slot. The trail has kind of filled this one in for me, but they're kind of the same, to be completely honest. And I just love the grand plastic on the Latitude discs. This Halo Wraith is really beat in, but still super overstable, and for a Wraith to be, it's a really overstable, but has tons of glide, and it's just a really, really great disc. I have this dyed Paul Macbeth Anax. I'm not really a big fan of the Anax, so I don't throw this, but it's a really cool dyed disc. And for the people that like to throw the Anax, I would guess this is a great one. I think I will move on to the coolest discs in my collection. The one I'm holding now especially, and this one. I'll start off by this one. This is I don't remember what year this is, but it is within the 2020s. The Calvin Destroyer, and this is just one of the most sought after destroyers with this particular stamp and this particular run. Just so domey destroyers, and this one doesn't feel that good on the forehand. That's where we get to the other disc, but this is just a bomber. It's quite overstable, and it just goes really far with a nice overstable finish. This one I think is one of the most expensive discs in my collection. It is. I saw it recently bought for around $80. This is a 2018 Calvin Destroyer. Pretty flat, and this is just really money for the forehands since it's so flat. And I really want to make a video throwing this disc, so we'll see what ends up in the future. I think we've gone over most of my cool discs. Of course, I have some other ones that I haven't really gotten the chance to talk about, like this Zone OS and the Jawbreaker C Flex plastic. This plastic is just beautiful to me, and the Zone OS is of course a really funny disc with the overstability. It's just so cool to have like a disc like this. I have some Metal Flake Gator 3s. This is a really cool one from also from Latitude 64, not a mid-range, but this is a mid-range. This is a really cool disc, and I just love collecting the discs and I love throwing them. So thank you so much for sitting with me, and listening to and looking at the discs I've collected over the past years, especially this last year. And maybe I should end it off by showing you my first ever Ace disc. This is a Beat-In Pro Pig, very puddle-topped, warped disc, and it was my first ever Ace disc. We've now gone through some of the coolest discs in my collection, and not every single one has been shared. I still have a bunch of cool discs that I absolutely love to throw, and I want to give one of these discs for free to one of you guys. So once I hit 100 subscribers, I will be picking out a random subscriber that will be able to go through my whole collection and pick out any disc of their choice that they will get. So if you want to be entered in that giveaway, just like this video and subscribe to the channel, and then I will post a video regarding that giveaway when the time comes. So once I hit 100 subs, I'll be giving away any of these discs. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, like and subscribe to be entered into the giveaway. Thank you so much for following, and that was my disc collection. See you in the next video.